Living around the Seattle area affords opportunities to explore some beautiful hikes. It can be an incredible way to boost your mood and enjoy the weather after making it through the winter months. Whether you're hiking around the trails of Discovery Park or you're training for an ascent up Mount Rainier, hiking can be quite the stressor on your knees if you're not prepared. Now, I want to be clear before we get into the rest of this video. Pain does not always equal damage. Instead, it can be thought of as a signal from your brain pleading for a change. With that said, it's much easier to enjoy the hike if you're not dreading the descent back to the trailhead because of your achy knees. Keep this in mind, even the most capable hiker may find themselves in this position if the demands are great enough. So let's get into it. It's Friday night. The decision has been made and you picked a trail to enjoy for a Saturday hike. If you're a little anxious about how your knees may feel, that's okay, because remember, once again, that pain does not always equal damage. Now, for many of us, hiking downhill can have a higher chance of causing some irritation around the knee joint. Why? Let's go back to high school physics to think about this and why it may happen. Think of your knees as a system, and this system has a specific force acting on it. If you're hiking downhill, the front of your knee is reacting to the force demands of what your foot does. We would define this as torque, or the ability of a force to cause rotation around an axis or lever. In this case, your knees. Okay, that's enough science speak. Basically, your knee joint is slowing down your body weight as you descend downhill. This means it takes some strong and tolerant quadricep muscles, among other things, to control the force during the descent. The point is, hopefully you prepared your knees for those demands by way of some easier hikes or an appropriate amount of resistance training. If you haven't, shame on you. That's okay. Hiking is a workout, and like any workout, a warm-up may help you prepare for those demands. Keep the warm-up simple, and remember this acronym RAMP. R for raise your core temperature by going for a brisk 3 to 4 minute walk down by the river should do the trick. A, activate. This means to facilitate, not annihilate, those muscles that we're working in preparation for the activity. Doing a couple sets of 10 to 15 bodyweight squats or lunges is a good start to give you a leg up. Get it? M, mobilize. Focus on the movements that will be in your activity. Just like the aforementioned activate, walking around or doing some lunges or bodyweight squats at your own level of tolerance should assist you with this. P, potentiate. This fancy word means gradually increase the stress on your body to prepare for the activity. Start slow after you get to the trailhead with the previous mentioned activities and give your body a solid 5 to 10 minutes to get used to the load around your knee. Again, facilitate, don't annihilate. The healthy way to walk downhill. Now, you're halfway into the hike. You've had some snacks and possibly an adult beverage at the top to celebrate the end of your ascent. You're packing up and getting ready to return back to your Tesla, you cool cat you. Even after doing everything to prepare yourself, there's always a chance your knees may be a little angry during the descent. That said, this does not mean you have to live with this for the rest of your hike. This is where different strategies come into play. One strategy not necessarily being better than the other. I wouldn't say that there is one perfect way to walk downhill, but the idea is to disperse stress to other areas, especially if the front of your knee is not tolerating walking downhill in a normal manner. Actions you can take include, but are not limited to, assistance. Love them or hate them, this is where trekking poles can be a great option. Use them to improve stability as you walk downhill, or even just to take a small percentage of stress off of your knees as you descend. Changing strategies. So if your knees become a little achy or painful, remember that your brain is pleading for a change. So to do this, it may help to descend your hike with a different strategy other than just walking straight downhill. Instead, try turning to the side on a steeper decline to let yourself down. So this will add some challenge to your hip musculature like your glutes, hamstrings, and groinal region, and thus take a little stress off of your knees. One of my favorites is to try a zigzag or diagonal pattern as you go down. The same rules apply as above. You're simply shifting your weight side to side as opposed to going straight down. Actions you should take after your hike. Once you've found a strategy that works for you and you make it to the end of your hike, here are a couple tips and tricks that may help to decrease the irritation for later in the day or later in the week. 1, your joints and tendons like consistency. That achy knee won't like a sudden change in its environment. If you've experienced some knee and joint pain on the way down, immediately getting back into your car may be the last thing you want to do. Go back to the ramp protocol from above. Remember what that was? And slowly cool down your activity level. This doesn't need to be anything fancy. Simply take a few minutes to walk on flat ground and add some light stretching afterwards can help you cool down. 2, once you make it back home, and depending on how long your journey may be, choose some low-level activity. Show your knees some love and go for a short walk when you get back home. Foam rolling and stretching may not do as much to fix any problem, but they can serve as some low-level activity to possibly decrease the soreness the next day. Oh yeah, and get something to eat. The third, and by far the most important tip, after you finish your hike, reflect on what you think your preparedness level was. This is where Tangelo comes in. We're here to help you understand the demands of your activity levels and how you can make sure that you have the capacity to meet those demands. No one has to feel like they need to try a different strategy just to make it down your hike every time. So there you have it. I hope you found these tips and tricks helpful, but again, no one needs to feel like they have to struggle through the activity they love to do. Everyone should have access to professional help to give them the independence to meet the demands of their daily lives or weekend warrior lives. The longer you live with knee pain, the murkier the ailment can be, and the longer the recovery process can take. Tangelo is here to help you get started on that journey. Don't wait. Take action now, and always subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Peace!